Two lives, one tragic end, and a silence that echoes louder than answers. On a peaceful mountaintop in Georgia, the bodies of 19-year-old twins, Qaadir and Naazir Lewis, were found, lifeless, side by side. No witnesses, no known enemies, and still, no justice. This is not just a crime story. This is a human story, a story of family, love, loss, and the painful question, what really happened to the Lewis twins? The family of the 19-year-old twins found dead on Bell Mountain on March 8th have new questions for authorities after seeing new surveillance video of the two brothers just hours before a hiker discovered their bodies. Yasmin Brawner, the aunt of Qaadir and Naazir Lewis, shared a news report on Facebook that included footage of her nephews entering a Shell gas station in Lawrenceville, Georgia, about 12 hours before they were found slain. The family said they have also learned that the twins took an Uber to the airport that Friday morning after scheduling a trip to Boston, but changed their plans when the car failed to drop them off in time for their flight. They now have several questions, like how the two young men drove their unreliable car to Bell Mountain and managed to get inside the gates of the facility, which closes at 9 p.m., at which time they were still close to home. This gas station here, around 10:30 p.m., the twins are seen drinking water, eating snacks, and dressed how they would normally dress, the twins' aunt, Samira Brawner, told 11 Alive. They pretty much walked inside the gas station and walked out. And you know, that's all. That's all she saw, Samira added. Despite this new evidence and the fact that the autopsies for both teenagers are complete, the medical examiner is declining to officially rule on both manner and cause of death for the teens pending additional forensic tests, the GBI announced in a statement. The GBI also did not respond to a request to comment on this latest development. Want to keep up with the latest crime coverage? Sign up for People's free true crime newsletter for breaking crime news, ongoing trial coverage, and details of intriguing unsolved cases. Deputies with the town's county sheriff's office were the first to arrive on the scene on March 8th and found that both teens had suffered gunshot wounds, according to a GBI news release. Those deputies then alerted the GBI, and based on a preliminary investigation, the two agencies said they believed the deaths resulted from a murder-suicide. The official ruling will be made by the medical examiner. Family members, however, are disputing the assertion from authorities about a murder-suicide. My nephews wouldn't do this. They came from a family of love, and twins wanted so much for their future. They had dreams of starting their very own clothing line, Yasmin previously said after launching a GoFundMe to raise money for their funerals. Yasmin said that the two teens had no connection to Bell Mountain, which is located 90 miles north of their home, in a series of posts shared on Facebook. She also said on Facebook that the gas station where they were seen the night before their deaths was located just a few minutes away from their home. We are not going to sweep this case up under the rug. We want to know the truth of what happened to Qaadir and Naazir, so our family can have closure. It is so many unanswered questions that keeps us up at night, Yasmin said earlier this month on Facebook. The older sister of the two brothers is also rejecting the initial assertion from authorities about their deaths. They were a bright light on some of my darkest days and were some of my biggest supporters, wrote Carrie Powell on Facebook. She and other family members have now created the hashtag Justice for Qaadir and Naazir to raise awareness. Unfortunately, something happened at Bell Mountain that ended the lives of 19-year-old Qaadir and Naazir, which needs to be further investigated, Yasmin said of the deaths. The bodies of Qaadir and Naazir were found by hikers at the summit of Bell Mountain in Hiawassee, Georgia, on March 8th at about 11 a.m. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation shared in a press release. The GBI shared in a March 9 press statement that the brothers were both found with gunshot wounds and that the preliminary investigation reveals the deaths to be a murder-suicide. A GBI medical examiner completed their autopsies. The officials announced in a March 16th update, but the official ME ruling and results are pending additional forensic tests. Despite Georgia authorities classifying Qaadir and Naazir's deaths as a murder-suicide, their family doesn't believe that's the case. They're very protective of each other, their uncle Rahim Brawner said of the brothers to WXIA, March 14th. They love each other. They're like inseparable. I couldn't imagine them hurting each other because I've never seen them get into a fistfight before. He revealed that the twins were found dead nearly 90 miles from their home at a place their family said they had never visited. How did they end up out in the mountains? Rahim added. They don't hike out there. They've never been out there. They don't know anything about Hiawassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountain. So how did they end up right there? Their family also paid tribute to Qaadir and Naazir with their sister Kerry Powell, reflecting on her relationship with the twins. I'll never forget all the memories and life experiences we shared growing up together, she wrote on Facebook March 16th. They were a bright light on some of my darkest days and were some of my biggest supporters. They will forever live on in the hearts of mine and our families. The case is now considered active but cold. Detectives continue to follow up on leads, but progress is slow. The mountain's isolation, lack of footage, and unwilling witnesses have made this a frustrating pursuit. Online communities respond. Reddit threads, TikTok accounts, and Facebook groups have picked up the case, sharing theories and pressuring, but justice doesn't come from whispers online. It comes from evidence, and for now, that evidence is thin. Qaadir and Naazir Lewis were sons, brothers, and dreamers. Their journey ended too soon, but their story doesn't have to. Justice delayed is not justice denied, but for the Lewis family, every day without answers is another day of pain. Help bring these brothers peace. Help bring their killers to light. Like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth true crime story.